Hello friends, I am going to share with you today 7 easy Christmas gifts that you can thrift for your kids and toddlers. These are things that I see often at the thrift stores that I think you can easily find. Hi, my name is Ruby. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I am a wife. I've been married for 7 years to my husband Preston. I'm a mom of 3, ages 5, 2, and 1. And I am a full-time stay-at-home mom, homemaker, and thrifting is one of those things that I genuinely enjoy doing, but it's also one of those things that I do to save our family money. When we need something, usually I go to the thrift store or look secondhand or on Marketplace to see what I can find at a better price for our family, and then we will buy brand new from there. But I hope these 7 things can give you some inspiration of what to get for your kids for Christmas, or just some helpful ideas so when you walk into the thrift store, you have a list that can help you and just direct you where to look. I will also share 4 tips for thrifting, specifically gifts for your kids, at the end of the video after I share these 7 things. So let's go ahead and get started. To preface this, I have one thing that I will just say is I don't think that the most expensive things at the store or the newest things out there are always the best gifts to get for your family. I think that being thoughtful and mindful of your family's interests, of their ages, goes a lot further than the most expensive or the newest. I think that kids, especially, I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I spend a lot of time with them. I know them. And granted, I'm thankful I can thrift for them at this age because they don't really know too much of a difference between thrifted or like brand new. They don't really care, and they can't really tell. So I'm thankful that I can thrift for them at this age. But also, if you just know your children's interests, that will go so far. And if you just buy with them in mind specifically, I think they will be very happy. The first thing I think you can easily find at thrift stores to thrift for a Christmas gift are games and puzzles. So I love thrifting games and puzzles for my kids. My youngest 1-year-old does not do puzzles yet, but if you have a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and I have a 5-year-old, you can find all sorts of age brackets of puzzles, games that will fit with those ages. So for example, my son can very easily, I thrifted this, he can very easily do these puzzles. I thrifted this. These are just, it's like a picture and it's broken onto 2 puzzle pieces. So he just finds the matches and puts them together. And he really enjoys doing this. Next is Bananagrams. This is just a game that I have thrifted, and this was just a couple dollars. When I unzipped it, it still had the instructions inside. I love to use this for my daughter. She is 5 and she's currently learning to spell. And so I will just throw out a word like pig or mop, and so she will dig through the letters and find those letters and put them together and spell words. She's really loved doing that lately. And then this game is also great because my husband and I play this game. You can just use this game in a couple different ways. But this is just a couple examples of what you can find in the game and the puzzle section at the thrift store. Another game, both of my kids, my 2-year-old and my 5-year-old, are very good at matching games. So when you have all of the cards flipped over, and then you have to flip over like 2 at a time when it's your turn and see if you can find a match. You flip them over and then the other person goes. You have to remember where those pictures are when it's your turn and try to find matches. But my daughter is into princesses, so I bought this for her a couple months ago when I found it at the secondhand shop. It was 40 cents, and there are so many matches in here. But this is one of the examples of, you can easily, I feel like, thrift puzzles and games, but it's even a bonus when it has a character or a theme that they are very much into. And this comes out in the thoughtfulness part of thrifting for your kids. My daughter loves princesses, and so this was just a win all around. A game she can play and understand, and also it's princess themed, so she loves this game. And then puzzles. Melissa and Doug puzzles specifically, I see them often at thrift stores. And in my thrift haul I did probably a couple months ago now, I think I showed you guys this puzzle that I thrifted. But it was a couple dollars, and she can do up to 100-piece puzzles now. And Melissa and Doug puzzles are great because they are very sturdy, and the pieces are large enough to where if you do have a toddler or a baby around, they cannot fit them in their mouth. They are very durable. We have several Melissa and Doug puzzles. They're very beautifully illustrated, often educational, and these are great and usually an easy find at thrift stores. Number 2 are Green Toy brand vehicles. Green Toy brand, if you see this, it just says it on the side of the vehicles. Somewhere on the vehicles it will say Green Toy brand or Green Toys, or on the front, if you look, it will have just like a little emblem that either says Green Toys like this bus does, or it will just have like a G and I think a B or a W. No, a G and a T for Green Toys, I think. Anyway, I've seen it both ways. So this school bus I thrifted. I also thrifted like a green, it's either a recycle or a dump truck. My kids love that one. I've thrifted a pink and purple one for my daughter. She loves that. What's great about this brand is that they are only made with plastic pieces. So there's no metal in here, there is no wood, so nothing is going to rust or get cracked. They play with these toys in the sandbox outside, and they get left out there for weeks at a time with them playing with them out there, and I can easily bring them inside, scrub them with some soap, and they look brand new. So nothing is rusted or cannot get wet. They're great to take in the bath. We take them to the beach. There's so many ways that you can use these and play with these cars. But like this bus or the dump truck, my kids just like put all their little figurines in here and drive them around. But I often see Green Toy brand items at the thrift store for just a couple dollars. So keep your eyes open for these. Number 3 are stocking stuffers. I loved my stocking growing up. It's one of the reasons I was sad to leave home. My mom just does an amazing job stuffing our stockings with all the most amazing things, and that was like one of my favorite parts of Christmas Day. But I'm joking. My husband gives me a stocking now, and he does very good at it. But these are some stocking stuffers if you do stockings for your kids. This is a princess book I actually thrifted. It's very small, as you can see. I thrifted this, and this is for this year to put in my daughter's stocking. It is a little first look and find, and it is like an I Spy book. I see these often at thrift stores. They have large ones too, like very large, and they have mini ones. And so I thrifted this mini one to go in her stocking. But if you look at the top, it just has like a little piece at the top that says Little First Look and Find. And most of the ones that I've seen are Disney brand or Pixar brand. And since they're for younger children who cannot read yet, but they can see pictures, and so they look for these items over here in the picture and try. It's like an I Spy. So my kids really enjoy these books. So I was excited to find, she's still into princesses, so I was very excited to find that I Spy book paired with the theme that she loves. My youngest 1-year-old, he loves animals, and so I found this little farm book with realistic looking animals. He loves to try to make all the sounds, so that'll go in his stocking. And then something else that you can thrift that's great for stockings are little figurines based on what your children's interests are, and once again just being thoughtful of what they are into. And so my kids were really into Paw Patrol last year, and so here's a little Zuma and a little Sky, and I can find these like characters like these ones I see here and there, but this is to show you that you can thrift like if you see little Disney princesses or you see other characters that they would like. Sometimes they're in just like a bag of like just like a whole bunch of little stuff. They're in a bag grouped together for a couple dollars, and you can just take these out and put them right in their stocking, and something that they love opening up. Another thing is my kids love like small things they can just hold in their hand and carry around, so little figurines always find a place in their toys. Next are animals. Animals are great. My kids play with animals in so many different ways. There are like endless ways to play with these. but I thrifted a couple at a time, and then also I thrifted, how many times can I say I thrifted in one video? But I thrifted a while ago a bucket of animals. It was like $7 or $8 for a huge bucket. And these are expensive at the store. Not like super expensive, but they're definitely more expensive than $7 or $8. And my kids love playing with these in their sandbox, in water in the bath. There are just so many ways. And if you find a couple of these, you can just put those in their stocking. Next are Legos. This set was thrifted a couple of years ago. You know what, it was just last year for my son for his birthday. He was just getting into these little figures, and I found this set at a thrift store for $2, and it might have even been half off that day. And it came with all the pieces. It's a little submarine. It's the Duplo Legos. They're perfect for like ages 2 to like 4. Those are great. My daughter's 5, and so now she can do the actual Legos where it comes with instructions and you piece it all together, more intricate. But my kid still loves them. She still loves to play with Duplo Legos. But my son in particular, it's like the beginning stage of Legos for him. And so he loves this. And I see Legos, Mega Blocks on the first tier, and those are like for babies that they can try to stack or learn colors. The second tier I think are Duplos for ages like 2 to 4, and then ages like 5, I feel like they can start doing them like by themselves, or maybe even 4. They can start doing those little Lego sets that you see at the store. But this is a great gift to thrift if you find Mega Blocks or Duplos. My kids love these. Next are books, and there are several different ways that you can gift books. Last year, I think this is one of the books I thrifted, and I just found like 3 or 4 like awesome books that I knew my kids would just like absolutely love. And so with each of their presents, I put a book like on the top or on the bottom, and I tied it up together with one of their presents. This year, I'm trying something different, and I'm going to gift them book stacks. So instead of just like one awesome book, I've thrifted about 10 to 15 books for my oldest 2, and I just figured I would give that stack of books to them for one gift. Just tie it up with bows on each side and just gift them that entire stack for a gift. And it has a lot of their interests in it. Like my son, I have Thomas the Train, some dinosaur books, some animal books, some like Lift the Flap books. I have a full-size picture look and find, like the mini one I just showed you, but that one is like Toy Story for him. So if you just walk through the books and you find several that you think your kids would like, you could give them a book stack of like 10 to 15 books as a gift. And at my Goodwill, usually books are 79 cents, just like across the board, kids books are 79 cents each. And if you go on half off days, you cannot beat 40 cents for a book. So I don't believe I've paid more than like $1 for any of the books that I have thrifted here, and for sure none of the books that I thrifted for them this year were more than $1. So books are a very, just a really good gift to give to someone. Great for kids if you can specifically thrift some with their interests in mind. So this book my kids absolutely love. I feel like they've had it for over a year, and we still read out of this book often. This is just Bible stories in 5 minutes. I was super excited to find this book. But just one example of what you could thrift. A couple of themes of books that I like to thrift and look for are Bible themed books. I love when I can read a Bible story to my kids and help them learn about the Bible, about God. And so I was super excited to thrift this book. Another theme of books I like to thrift are just educational. It's actually going to add knowledge to them. A brand that I like is Usborne, specifically for educational books. And if you are looking, I've shared this in my other thrift haul video. If you're looking for them at the store, an easy way to find them is look for this little hot air balloon on the bottom, and that is like their signature logo. This is a book that helps tell time. Usborne has a lot of like Lift the Flap, fun facts, educational books. There's other brands you can look for too. Another theme or kind of book that I like to look for are real life picture books. My kids love this book, but if you can see, they are like real life pictures of what things actually look like. This is just an example of just like food. But my kids, and definitely my 1-year-old, loves books that actually look like real life objects. Like the little animal book I got him when it actually looks like a cow that he would see at like a farm. He loves that. And so I find like all of my kids love real life looking books. Next are full size figurines. So this is my son's. He really enjoys this Spider-Man. These are usually, I feel like, between $2.99 like $3.99 at thrift stores. They are great if you can thrift like superheroes for your son, if your daughter loves like Barbies, or princess. Once again, my daughter does, so I found one there for her. Something that I see often and I feel like kids love. And something with the figurines, if you just find one, you can put it in their stocking. If you find a few of them, or like last week I saw some princess like Barbie clothes that could go with one of her dolls. So if I found a doll and some clothes to go together, wrap them up together and make it like more of a gift, so it's like a little bit bigger, so it can be like a gift under the tree. And there are a couple different ways you can gift this at Christmas. Last item on the easy Christmas gifts to thrift for your kids and toddlers are stuffed animals. So last year my mom found this at Goodwill for $2.99, and she called me or texted me and was like, hey, Lorelai was really into Paw Patrol, and she's like, I found this massive sky. You can just say no, I won't get it. If you don't want it, it's fine, but I think she would love it. So I was like, yeah, of course, Lorelai would totally love that. And so she picked this up for her and gave this to her on Christmas Day, and this still has a permanent place in my daughter's room. So stuffed animals are a great find at the thrift store. I usually, disclaimer, I do throw them in the wash just to get all that stuff off. So before you gift them, probably run them through the washer, let them dry. Don't put them in the dryer. I usually like sit them out to dry, air dry, because sometimes it messes up the fur and stuff. But I usually wash them, let them air dry, and then especially if you can find themes of characters they love, like Paw Patrol, like princesses, like other popular kids shows right now. But even if your son, like my son, likes dinosaurs or just those different kinds of animals, I feel like you can always find nice stuffed animals at the thrift store for a really good price. Lastly, just a thought is that while you are looking for all these other items, I think you will end up finding some items that are not on this list because they're not like easily thrifted and I cannot tell you exactly what they are. But while you're looking for these other items, make sure you look around and just see what else they have. And I think you can find some really nice items for your kids at the thrift store. This is just an example of something I wasn't looking for, but I saw at a secondhand shop, and I believe it was $6 or $7. And this is I got for my 2-year-old son. I picked this up because I knew that he's just learning to ride a balance bike. I knew he would just love this. And it felt really nice when I was like pushing it around the store. My husband looked it up and it retails for over $100, and we got it for like $6 or $7. So this is just an example of when you are looking for these other items that I think you can easily find. Make sure you keep your eyes open, look at the bike section, the puzzle section, the toy section, just to peruse and just see if you can find anything else like these just really good items that you didn't go in looking for, but there's such a steal when it comes to just like saving money. Okay, so now I'm gonna get to you those 4 tips I talked about. First tip is shop consistently and be mindful of sale days. So don't expect to go to the thrift store and find all of these things in your first go. So if you can go to a couple thrift stores a week and you don't have to spend hours, if all you're looking for are toys, books, games, go right to those sections and just look through those things. And I'm talking maybe like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, when you're maybe after your grocery shop or when you're out running errands. Just look in your maps, is there a thrift store near me, and just run in and see what you can find. If you just go, the more you go, the more likely you are to find a lot of these things and some of these just like really good items. So shop as consistently as you can, and then pay attention to sale days. Our Goodwill in my area, they have like one 50% off day a month, and so they usually have that on their board outside their store. But sometimes, since I'm a Goodwill member, I think it's you pay like $5 and you're a member for a year, they email you when there's like a special 40% off day. So if you have some local thrift shops and they have like a subscribe to your email or a phone number that you can put in and they'll notify you when sale days are coming, that is awesome, just to get things even cheaper. Tip number 2 is don't buy just to buy. Think through if your kids would be excited to open this on Christmas morning. And so once again, just bring up that point of being thoughtful. You can really score some great deals at the thrift store. But with the books you buy, or the puzzles you get, or the stuffed animals you get, really think through, like, do my kids love this right now? Do they love doing puzzles, or what are their interests? And really try to think through those, because thrifting is great. Where you can save money is awesome. But thinking through the gifts with your kids in mind is really important, so that they are excited when they open that gift on Christmas morning. Opening gifts is just so exciting in the first place. I think your kids will be very excited. Like, don't overthink it, but think through, will my kid like this? Don't just buy a whole bunch of stuff just to, like, say you thrifted everything and saved a whole bunch of money. Really try to think through, will my kids like this item? Third is to think creatively. For example, if you see like a bag of Play-Doh accessories, my kids love Play-Doh, from my 1-year-old to my 5-year-old. So if you see any kind of Play-Doh accessories, that's something my kids love. But if you just see the accessories, maybe you could pick those up at the thrift store, but then on Amazon or at Walmart, get a pack of like 5 tubs of Play-Doh and pair that together and give that as a gift. Or if you have a daughter like mine who loves girly things and loves being a girl, if you thrift a really cute little backpack or a little purse that she will love, maybe then you could go to Dollar Tree or go to Walmart and just find a whole bunch of little goodies you could put in there. If the purse or backpack is between like $3 and like $5, and then you can spend like $5 or $10 at the Dollar Tree or at Walmart buying little tissues, little lip glosses. Kids love gum, or little mints, like those icebreakers in that round container. A little mirror or lip gloss, just my daughter loves lip gloss. And so many cute, fun things you could thrift and just put in there. That way, then when she opens that gift, it's like 2 gifts when she opens it and sees all those fun little things in her purse. And then another tip would be, well, just along with thinking creatively, if you find a Paw Patrol or a Barbie or whatever brand vehicle or playhouse, and there's no figurines to go with it, you can still pick that up and then go to the store and find some figurines to pair with that, and you can give that as a gift. So trying to think creatively, and if you find like a piece of something that they would kind of like, what can you pair with that would make it a complete gift? And then lastly, it doesn't have to be, tip number 4, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to thrift everything, and you also don't have to buy everything on Amazon. I think there's a really happy medium where a lot of these things you can thrift and have like a couple gifts that are thrifted that you know your kids will love. And I love thrifting a couple gifts at a really good price. That way I can put more money towards other gifts that I know they will just be so excited about. And so we do a combination of thrifting and saving money where we can, still getting things our kids will be really excited about, but then that way I can put more money towards things that they really will be just like so excited to open, whether that's from Walmart or Amazon. But just know it doesn't have to be all or nothing. I think you can have a little bit of both. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful, that I gave you some ideas. I love thrifting, so any excuse for me to thrift, I'm down. But hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video.